So I've spoken about this on the pod before. One of the biggest challenges I've faced, and would I say I'm still facing it? Not necessarily, but it creeps in here and there. Is body dysmorphia.
Really?
Yeah. I
Which
know
way?
it sounds mad, doesn't it?
As in, you feel skinny or you feel fat?
Fat.
Really? You know what?
And that
I feel
mentally-
like I have that as well, you know?
Mentally that can mess with you more than it sounds like it can.
No.
Because you just
Definitely.
think, unless you... Because I've heard of the body dysmorphia in the past, but
Yeah.
I've never really... Because you know when something doesn't affect you directly,
Mm.
you don't take the time out to probably think about it or take it in as much.
Yeah.
But until I started to feel it around the pandemic or just before...
Mate, the pandemic messed me up, man. Messed me up.
Emmanuel...
What?
it was
Can't
different. It was so
I
different.
put on weight, fam.
And I feel like, same, I put on weight and we've worked together before, obviously, like
Many
the
times.
modelling times before. And I don't know if you've noticed, I pushed back, obviously, after a while. Like, because do you remember there were times where it's like, oh, let's work together? And I'm like, oh, no.
I recall now. Yes, it
those
is
were the
making
challenges
sense.
I was facing at the time. And
I see.
it's not as if I didn't feel pretty or I don't feel like I could ever be in front of a camera. I
I
think
do remember you saying your face felt a bit fat. I remember one time you said that.
right.
Yeah.
And I think I was just adapting to this new
I
me.
see.
Like I feel like my body changed. I don't want to say drastically because I'm not fat, but I feel like I definitely was adapting because I used to be very skinny.
Yes.
I think that's what it was. I used to be very skinny, and then
Yeah.
obviously having a bit of flesh on me, it took a while. I was thinking, okay, I'm not sure.
I'm
But
not sure.
I'm not sure about it. Like
Yeah,
it was so
still-
foreign
It's a
to
slippery
me.
slope.
Very alien. They're very
Yeah.
slippery slope. But I think mentally it did affect me more than I let on.
Right.
I only started speaking to about it and being more vocal about it recently because the way I'd speak about it before was in a form of a joke.
Ah,
Like my friends,
I see.
I'm sure every single one of my friends can recall a time where I said, oh, I feel fat. And I was just like, they're like, what's wrong with you? And I'm just like, you're not fat. And I'm just like, ha ha ha, should I get off? But I'll go home, I'll look in the mirror and be like, you're fat, bro.
Ah, chai.
You know, and that's mentally, that's not good
Yeah.
because you got to still push through it. Like you still need to wake up in the morning. You need to do what you need to do. Like, and I don't want to say it affected my lifestyle and just what I did. But when I did think about it, I was very down.
Wow.
Yeah, I was very, very down.
But you've accepted it now.
I've accepted it, and
You're
it's all
not fat, by the way.
Thank you.
Just like because me,
What do you mean?
I look at my old photos and I say,
Oh my,
chai.
do you know that's the biggest thief
Chai,
of joy?
chai,
Because
chai.
I do the
I'm
same. Like,
finished.
you know, I would literally sit there and
Yeah.
compare and just. It's just not good. It's not good.
Yeah,
It's more accepting what the reality is,
Yeah.
or if you feel like there's something you can do about it, doing it. So I try to join the gym. Like every now and again, I go.
definitely.
I'm not the most consistent, but I was at one point. Like I have my moments. You know what I mean? Doing little things to help my dieting. But honestly, that was a mental challenge for me.
Yeah.
I would say.
Okay. No, it's
Yeah.
funny because that's what I'm going through now. Like, but I've come to a stage where I've just accepted it, and
Yeah.
I will. I mean, I gym. Well, I haven't been
I
consistent.
feel like you
this
do
month.
gym.
I do, but
'Cause I feel
in
like I
terms
always-
of like getting toned and whatnot, because I got a bit of a.
Stop.
You know what I'm saying,
Yeah. Okay.
but yeah, I feel like I've just love the body you have while trying to get the body you want.
Right. That's
Do you know what I mean?
honestly, that is it. And it's easier said than done, but you
Yeah.
just honestly need to push through.
Yeah, and I don't allow myself to complain if I know I've just finished eating donut and and Chinese.
You
and,
know, it's the eating for me.
yeah, it's the diet.
It's the
still, I
diet.
can't lie.
It's the diet, honestly, but
Yeah.
it's about staying disciplined. If you,
Yeah.
do you know what? I'm a big believer in if you want it bad, if you want it so badly, you will do what you need to do to
No,
get
definitely.
So,
But I
yeah.
think even from a mental health standpoint, just not beating yourself up for slacking goes a long way.
it. I promise
what I
you,
mean?
exactly, literally, even to the point where like taking pictures was an issue. Like I hated taking
Wow.
pictures, like group pictures. I'm staring at myself. Like mentally, it was
Damn.
very challenging. Very, very challenging. And
see, I don't have that because I can Photoshop. Worst case.
yeah, but that's the thing, though. You don't want to have to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? But do you get what I'm trying to say?
If I did feel like that for
don't
Photoshop,
get you. I could Photoshop too if I wanted.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean? Anyway, like it's all accessible. Look at Facetune, all these things you can create another version of yourself online if you really want to. But I've never had to do that, so that was so like, oh, it's not me. So I'd rather just stop taking pictures altogether, and that also tied in with the confidence thing I was talking about when it came to the podcast, about being in the spotlight. You know, I don't want to really put myself out there because I feel like, oh, Temi, you're just not gonna like how you look, or people are just gonna say things about, like, do you know what I mean? But
did you ever feel like, well, you might not have felt it because you said you have body dysmorphia, but it might sound like you're vain.
What, when you talk about body dysmorphia? No,
like you saying you might not like how you look on camera and stuff.
Yeah, it might sound like I'm vain.
Yeah.
Was
that ever a thought?
That's at the end of the day, no. And the reason why I say that is because whoever tells you that they don't care about how they look is a liar. Everyone cares.
Well,
no, I don't believe that.
Fair.
I don't believe there's a single person on this earth that don't care. It depends on how they portray it. It depends. Don't get twisted. There's a certain extent of caring. Some people just over care, and some people just don't care enough. But to some, like, there has to be some.
Boris Johnson doesn't care.
He does, or maybe he puts up a front that he doesn't care because he would have to. Look at the amount
you
of
seen his hair, fam.
Yeah, but
Sorry. That's not.
If he doesn't, if Boris Johnson doesn't care, he would not come to work in a suit. Like, he would not try and look at least. He doesn't have to do anything. He has to. Okay, but do you get what I mean? Though there's still some level.
Yeah, I guess so. I hear what you're saying.
So it's not really a vain thing. It's not really about, oh, I'm always looking at myself and, you know. But it's more of a confidence. It can be a self-esteem thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
So yeah, you can't let that get to you, for real.
Fair enough. So
Boris Johnson, what an example.
Were there any like resources or like things you went to look at in terms of helping you with body dysmorphia?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. First of all, the support from family, people around you definitely helped.
Okay.
Because when I started being more vocal about it, the people around me would help. Right. In terms of telling me the truth and how I'm actually perceived, because I honestly struggle to know how I look to other people. Like, not necessarily my face, but just body wise. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where it's come from, but I just still sometimes I struggle. Like, this is how I see myself, but is that how you see me?
I've always wondered that. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get what I mean? So there's that. So having good support system, and when I say that, not just people just telling you what you want to hear, but telling you the truth. And do you know what I mean? Telling you the truth. And I'm not gonna lie,
I'm just thinking about my own friendships. It'll just turn into banter.
It will turn into banter, but it's just how it's the approach. Do you know what I mean? It's the approach. If you come on a serious tip, hopefully it doesn't turn into banter, and they're honest and they speak the truth and they tell you. But I had to do that. I had to be honest and say, look, this is what I'm dealing with, and I'll be like, oh, okay, like, how can we help you? What can we do? And then they just would tell me exactly what it is. Which was never even bad. It was just in my head, and that's the thing. Yeah. When things are in your head, it's just you overthink. It's a whole different world. So when I started to hear it and vocalize it and hear what they had to say back, that helped. Also, gymming, of course, helped. Gymming helped, and just going out more. I think that really helped. You know, the pandemic, oh my God, when you were locked indoors, there were so many thoughts that will go through your head, and you just be thinking so many things. But once, I don't know, I do this thing when I'm by myself, thoughts running through my head. But when I'm with my friends, life is good again. You know, so those definitely help.
Are you extroverted?
If you don't know me, I'd be an introvert. Like, I'm more introverted.
So you're more reserved.
I'm quite reserved. A good mixture of both.
Cool. How do you prioritize and maintain your mental health today?
literally part of what I said, being around the people I feel most comfortable with.
Yeah.
Just having those conversations, I think, with myself, I think that really helps. You know, sometimes when you're going through something, you just find it hard to like be honest with yourself or tell yourself exactly what it is. Like, I think it's having a good balance of being around people, because I don't want to seem as if, the answer to it all is being with people and your problems will go away. That's not the case.
Yeah.
You need to have a good balance of being by yourself and being with people. So that's what I mean when I say
people.
The right people. Absolutely. And that's what I mean when I say I'm a bit of an introvert and extrovert. I spend a lot of time with myself. Lot of time. Sometimes I spend too much time with myself that it starts to become too much.
Yeah.
Like I'm hearing my thoughts out loud. Do you know what I mean? Where I need to actually go out and take a walk or go and get some fresh air. I'm just always indoors by myself a lot. I do that a lot. And whilst it's needed sometimes, it's not always the best solution.
Okay.
So just finding what works for you, I think. Finding what works for you in terms of literally the process of finding what works for you. You just got to do different things, whether it be gymming, whether it be watching your favorite it can be so simple sometimes, you know, whether it be watching your favorite TV show or treating yourself. People might find this weird. I was telling my friends this the other day, but there was a random day I just wanted a Nando's, and no one was on it, and I went by myself, and since then it's become a normal. It's like a norm for me, but people find that very strange. That I go Nando's with myself.
I do a lot of things by myself.
I do a lot of things by myself, Emmanuel. Like the other day, I went to a concert by myself.
Wow. And
that was so fun. I'd do it again, absolutely. You know, and it brought me so much joy knowing that I don't have to wait for anybody. Honestly, or this person's taking to. It's me doing my own thing. Yeah. I went, drove there, went home, a blast.
Fantastic.
You know, and I was so happy. Like I remember being so happy on that day. But it's the littlest things sometimes. It doesn't have to be anything that costs too much money or that's massive, but it's just the littlest things, I think.
No, that's amazing. How do you think we can raise a more awareness of mental health issues and destigmatize them in today's society?
One thing I will say is, I don't know if it's good that I'm comparing, but looking in previous years, like, I don't know, early 2000s, comparing to now, I think a lot of awareness has been brought to mental health. A lot of light has been shed on it. So we have to applaud that.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think it's about keeping the momentum going. A lot of people are taking mental health very seriously. People that I never thought would even consider taking mental health seriously. Perfect example are African parents. Right. Like when I sit down with my dad and he talks to me about mental health, sometimes I'm just like, I can't believe it. Wow. Do you ever feel like that?
No.
Because you know with African parents, or just parents in general, you know, because they're born in a different generation, they don't see mental health the way we see it sometimes.
No, definitely. I know,
do you know
exactly
what I mean?
what you're talking about.
So, and I feel like the awareness that we brought to it has helped a lot.
Okay.
Whether it be through social media, whether it be through having those conversations, or however it is that we're bringing the awareness, I think it's just being consistent with it. I'll be honest, I don't have the answer to it. I don't know what else that probably needs to be done, because we have the platforms, the resources in front of us, and we are using them. Yeah. But I would say it's being consistent with it. Just not letting the momentum die down.
Okay.
Just acknowledging it at any point, and just not letting it go to waste. Any chance that you get to discuss mental health, do so. Most definitely. If there's someone that needs to be educated about it, don't just assume, they're just ignorant. Talk to them about it, do the little bits that you need to do. And whatever platform that you have, use it to promote it. Like definitely. We do that on the pod all the time. Like whatever opportunity comes up, that where we can discuss mental health, we talk about it,
Yeah.